excited to have everybody here this evening. This should be a good board meeting. I'm excited about it in a number of ways, but we also have a couple of things we do want to, beyond just our normal business, to talk about this evening with our community here. But I'd like to take the opportunity to welcome you to our February 3rd board meeting of the Baltimore City Board of School Commissioners. Before we begin, I also want to take a moment just to acknowledge that this is Black History Month. We're excited about that. We'll be in February, our February 18th meeting, we'll be diving into Black history a little bit more in detail than we will tonight, just a cursory start. But not only this month, but every month of the year gives us an opportunity to celebrate the accomplishments and achievements of African Americans. So I'd like to call to order tonight's meeting of the Baltimore City Board of School Commissioners, and I'll now read a roll of the board to identify who is present. We ask that you please identify yourself first before speaking for the record. Vice Chair Parker.
Vice Chair Parker, present.
Thank you. Commissioner Ames Messenger.
Ames Messenger, present.
Thank you. Commissioner Chicas Guzman.
Commissioner Chicas Guzman, present.
Thank you. Commissioner Coy.
Commissioner Coy, present.
Thank you. Commissioner Esposito.
Commissioner Esposito, present.
Thank you. Commissioner Kenyatta Bay. Commissioner Mohammed. He'll be with us shortly. Commissioner Scott Woodruff.
Scott, present.
Thank you. Commissioner Simmons.
Simmons, present.
Thank you. Commissioner Slater Harrington. Thank you. I'm also present. Is there a motion to open tonight's meeting? Thank you. Is there a second?
Second, Chicas Guzman.
Thank you. All in favor, Vice Chair Parker.
Yes.
Commissioner Ames Messenger. Commissioner Chicas Guzman.
Yes.
Commissioner Coy.
Yes.
Commissioner Esposito.
Yes.
Commissioner Mohammed. Commissioner Scott Woodruff.
Yes.
Commissioner Simmons. Commissioner Slater Harrington. Thank you, and I'm also in favor. This motion passes. Out of talking points. So we'll now be joined by the JROTC at Edmondson Westside High School. We'll ask that our audience join us for the presentation of colors this evening.
Left turn, march. Color guard, halt. Reset, arms. Sorry, color guard. Order, arms. Colors reverse, march. Color guard, halt. Reset, arms. I pledge allegiance to the flag and United States of America. Republic which stands one nation under God. Order, arms. Post the colors.
So before we get to my normal board chair comments this evening, I'd like to turn over to Commissioner Coy for just a moment of silence.
I would like to take this time to recognize the passing of City Schools employees. These individuals were committed to supporting our students through their work. The greater City Schools community will fondly remember these employees. Tonight, we send our deepest condolences to the employees and families and friends. It is with deep regret that we inform you of the passing of Pamela Fortson. Pamela Fortson started her career at City Schools on September 17, 2007, where she served the staff and students for 18 years, 3 months at City Schools District Office as an executive secretary in the finance department. Ms. Fortson unfortunately departed on November 13, 2025, and will be missed by her family, friends, and City Schools. It is with deep regret that we inform you of the passing of Jennifer Delaney. Jennifer Delaney started her career with City Schools on August 24th, 1998, where she served the students and staff for 27 years, 4 months. Her most recent position as teacher special education was served at Francis Scott Key Elementary Middle School. Ms. Delaney unfortunately departed on November 30th, 2025, and will be missed by her family, friends, and City Schools. It is with deep regret that we inform you of the passing of Orrin Franklin. Orrin Franklin started his career with City Schools on August 28, 2002, where he served the staff and students for 23 years, 10 months. His most recent position as teacher special education was served at Carver Vocational Technical High School. Mr. Franklin unfortunately departed on November 26, 2025, and will be missed by his family, friends, and City Schools. In addition to those staff, I would also like to read and to recognize the passing of a City School student. The Claremont High School community is deeply saddened by the passing of 12th grade student Clarence Somerville. Although he joined us only recently, Clarence made a lasting impression with his funny, outspoken personality and the vibrant energy he brought to every room. Navigating the world in a wheelchair with confidence and determination, he approached the school year with an eagerness to learn and a positive attitude that inspired both students and staff. Clarence will be remembered for his honesty, his resilience, and the light he shared with our school family. Our collective hearts and sincerest sympathies are with his family during this difficult time. Please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Coy. Appreciate it. Is there a motion to approve the prior open session minutes? Thank you. Is there a second?
Second Esposito.
Thank you. All in favor, Vice Chair Parker,
Yes.
Commissioner Ames Messenger,
Yes.
Commissioner Chicas Guzman,
Yes.
Commissioner Coy,
Yes.
Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner Mohammed, Commissioner Scott Woodruff, Commissioner Simmons,
Yes.
Commissioner Slater Harrington,
Yes.
and I'm in favor. This motion passes. Is there a motion to approve the closed session summaries?
Ames Messenger, so moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second Esposito.
Thank you. I'll take Esposito in the second. All in favor, Vice Chair Parker,
Yes.
Commissioner Ames Messenger, Commissioner Chicas Guzman,
Yes.
Commissioner Coy,
Yes.
Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner Mohammed. I'm sorry, Commissioner Scott Woodruff.
Yes.
It's good. Pardon me, Commissioner Simmons, Commissioner Slater Harrington.
Yeah.
And I'm in favor. This motion passes. All right, on to board chair comments. So I just want to address head on this evening. This will also be included for more detail in the CEO comment this evening, but want to address head on the comments that we received from the public regarding school closure. We recognize this has been a rough week for everybody, for the city of Baltimore, for our educators, and our students, and our families. We appreciate just the efforts of all of those involved to get school reopened this week. The board as a whole appreciates the comments that we received. It's helpful for us to know the perspectives that are out there. It helps us as we are all working collectively to ensure that our children have the opportunity for a safe education. We recognize fully that this week in getting schools back open is not perfect. We recognize a lot of our schools have issues in terms of passage with bus stops, other things like that. We continue to work with the city of Baltimore around operational restoration here in the city, and do appreciate the comments that we have. Dr. S will be addressing a little bit more about the operational intricacies, which are directly charged in her responsibilities, but the board does engage in those conversations to learn more about what it takes to reopen schools here in Baltimore, and appreciate that insight and appreciate the collaboration from our CEO and the staff as well. So it takes the teamwork to get our schools back open, recognize that still this week, the patience of our children and our families are tested as they're making their ways to school on public transit, traversing sidewalks that are not 100% clear. But we recognize the importance of education and making sure that the best quality opportunity for kids to learn is in our buildings every single day and being present in our schools. So we do appreciate the patience, we appreciate the comments, and appreciate the opportunity to continue to work to restore all of our schools to 100% to where they need to be. So we've still got a lot of work to do. Second, I want to move into a couple of things that are also impacted by weather, just so that folks know we did get a lot of comments and questions about the restoration of our committee meetings. Actually, I want to take a moment just to thank our Chief of Staff, Allison Perkin-Cohens, for her efforts and leadership in getting our schools open. We do appreciate that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Want to make sure folks know. So we had to forego 2 committee meetings last week because of the challenges with the snow. So our operations and policy committee meetings that were scheduled for the 22nd are in process of being rescheduled for February. We'll let the public know once we're able to get those meetings back. Those topics will be combined with our February meeting, so there will be a little bit longer agendas than normal, and subsequently those items that were scheduled will be pushed forward for February 18th for the board meeting. Most importantly for this month is our district budget process. So along with the board meetings, the district budget feedback sessions are also rescheduled. These dates and times are now posted to the City Schools website. And as you guys know, this is probably one of the most important things that the board can engage in. So the district plans for next school year are being developed currently, and we'd like to make sure that we gather as much input as possible. The district is hosting 5 feedback sessions for stakeholders to learn more about the financial plans upcoming this school year. Stakeholders are invited to share their thoughts on spending efforts towards student wholeness, literacy, leadership equity, and the district office structure. One thing that we will acknowledge head on is that this budget will be a transition budget as we go into a new superintendent, but we'll have the core elements of our budget process that will lead us to ensure operational excellence and continuity that we can continue in our summer programming and opening up school day 1 in in August. So more information is available on our website. So to move to something a little bit more fun, we have a surprise presentation this evening for Dr. S. And we ask that our colleagues, we're going to take a moment to start with Dr. S. We ask that our colleagues from the Baltimore Orioles come forward. So I'd like to introduce both Carrie Watson, who serves as the Executive Vice President of Public Affairs, and Valencia Hike, who's the Director of Community Engagement. And while they're getting settled, I just want to thank the Orioles, for their continued partnership to City Schools. It's been just an honor and pleasure to have the support. We know that our young people, our adults, appreciate the recognition, the honor to partner, to learn from, and receive support from the Orioles. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to the team from the Orioles.
Chairman Sally, Chairman Sally and members of the commission, thank you, first of all, for having us here with you all this evening on this really important night, I think. Dr. Santelises, it was about 2 years ago that I approached the school system about this kind of crazy idea that we wanted to adopt a neighborhood, but we also recognized that in adopting a neighborhood, that the heart of that neighborhood was at school. Harlem Park is a neighborhood that has become, as I've said to a lot of people, my second happiest place in Baltimore after my bed. It's a place that personally brings me joy. And being able to do something really special for the beautiful scholars that attend that school obviously could not have happened but for the partnership that we have with the Baltimore City public school system and with you, Dr. Santelises. it is our goal to do something incredibly important for that community because, it doesn't have to be said here, but due to the history of our city, some of the things that have happened over the centuries, um, some people have not received all the attention and support that they deserve. And we, as the Baltimore Orioles, want to do something different and impactful. But again, I recognize and we recognize that that just could not have happened without you. My mom was an elementary school teacher. My grandmother was a high school teacher, and I recognize that teaching and education is the most important career field in our society. And if we have a successful system, we will have a successful city. So with that, we would like to honor your 10 years of service to Baltimore City as its chief executive officer and give you a jersey that has your name on it and the number 10. Yeah, so you're now an official Baltimore Oriole, and please enjoy it. And I hope to still see you at games.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, on behalf of the Orioles, again, love to thank you for the opportunity to present this to you, and thank you to the board.
Well, I just want to say a big thank you. This is like, are you kidding? I mean, this is fabulous. I'm going to be like now at so many more Orioles games now that I've got the garb. This is beautiful. Just want to thank you both for really stepping out, as you just noted, and saying you really wanted to go deep in ways that the Orioles had not before your leadership collectively, both of you. And we are the better for it. It is just a great honor to have served in Baltimore City and to serve with kind of the heart of Baltimore City, which is represented in our sports organizations and particularly here tonight, the Orioles. So I just want to thank you. Like I said, I feel like I should go home now and like sit and watch a game with the Santa Lisa's on the back. That is just so cool. My husband's going to be so jealous. I'm going to be like, no, this is for me. This one's mine. But thank you so much. Thank you for how you care for our families, for our young people, and you show it not just in word, but in deed. So thank you so much. Great honor. Appreciate it. That was very sneaky. I had no, but I'm glad I wore orange. I'm glad I wore Orioles orange tonight. So that's right. Yes, exactly. So it's perfect. So thank you so much, you all. Oh, you want a picture? Okay. Okay. So let me, hold on.
And actually, before we actually do the picture, I just want to turn it over to the vice chair for just one other programming note that I think is important to lift up.
I was just gonna thank the Orioles again for your partnership over in Harlem Park. I had the opportunity to go over for the ribbon cutting for the STEM room and lab that is over there. And then the Orioles were so gracious to extend the offer for me to do the first pitch that night. So that was important, to the board, to the community, to my family personally. So thank you for your continued partnership and all of the great things you do for Baltimore City Schools and the city in general. Thank you.
So we know this is Dr. Santalisis's, we're on the countdown and we're sad, but we have many more opportunities to celebrate Dr. Santalisis's achievements, accomplishments, and dedication to Baltimore City. And so this is just one way that the community is stepping up to return just that honor and that favor. So thank you for your 10 years. And so we were looking forward to more celebrations and honors. I'm actually going to pivot to the vice chair for our next opportunity to honor this evening.
All right, so now it's time for us to honor our friend and colleague, Dr. Stefan Redden-Lallinger. So of course they have a whole bunch of stuff for me to read, but I would just like to say that Dr. Redden-Lallinger, myself, and Commissioner Ames Messenger were all sworn in the same day, and we were just trial by fire. So it's a great bond there. We appreciate you, all of your contributions. We're going to do you right. I'm going to read this script. But before we do that, I want to honor, don't kill me, Vanessa, because Vanessa is my friend as well, but I want to honor Vanessa and the girls before we, because, you know, people don't realize this job is not, when I thought of school and school board, I'm like, yeah, Monday through Friday, 9 to 3, not at all. It's 24/7, 365. So Vanessa was so gracious to allow us to have access to her husband. You know, when there's a couple, I always honor the wife because I'm a woman speaking with her husband. I offered to move in and help with babysitting. That's how much I needed to speak with Stefan. So I have something for Vanessa and the girls. So if you all would like to come up, and then we will honor Dr. Redden-Lallinger properly.
Thank you all. Thank you.
We can. So Stefan, would you like to come up? And Stefan doesn't want us to make a big deal, but it's turning into a bigger deal than we thought. So hang in there with us for a couple moments. All right. Commissioner Redden-Lallinger's last day on the board was Friday, January the 9th, 2026. Stefan served as commissioner since July 2024. Since his time on the board, he was intentional about his impact on creating change, constantly showing up for students inside and outside of the boardroom. He was respectful, courageous, and overall a pleasure to be around. Working closely with Commissioner Redden-Lallinger, I first saw his dedication to the students and the staff of Baltimore City schools. It showed through his work on the teaching and learning and policy committees, as well as other various board initiatives. To show our appreciation to Commissioner Redden-Lallinger, the Communications Office created a short video to highlight his time on the board. I tried this, I know. Commissioner Redden-Lallinger, we cannot thank you enough for your contributions and key perspectives. We wish you well in your new role and look forward to our paths crossing again. So we have some resolutions. And I will tell you all publicly, I'm glad this is like a month out because I wouldn't have been emotionally able a month ago. All right, City of Baltimore Certificate of Recognition. On behalf of the people of Baltimore, I am pleased to present this certificate to Dr. Stefan Redden Lallinger in recognition of your dedicated service as a commissioner for the Baltimore School Board of School Commissioners. You are to be commended for your unwavering commitment and leadership. Okay, I'm just gonna, yes, because it's kind of stuff, of the chair of the Strategic Planning and Accountability Meeting Committee during your term. Your hard work has helped us to improve and enrich the educational experiences of all students enrolled in Baltimore City Public School System. On behalf of the people of Baltimore, thank you for your dedication and efforts to build a better city. February 3rd, 2026, Brandon M. Scott, Mayor.
Before I turn it over to you for comments, we've got a proclamation on behalf of the board. So whereas Dr. Stefan Redden Lallinger served as commissioner on the Baltimore City Board of School Commissioners from July 2024 to January 2026. And whereas Dr. Stefan Redden Lallinger served as the chair of strategic planning, as well as a member of the policy and teaching and learning and the CEO search ad hoc committee. And whereas Dr. Stefan Redden Lallinger has demonstrated a deep commitment to exploring the issues of racial and social economic integration, equity, affirmative action, and school governance. And lastly, whereas Dr. Stefan Redden Lallinger has performed outstanding service to the students, staff, families of Baltimore City and the city of Baltimore. We appreciate it. Thank you.
So we will open it up to any comments from Dr. Redden Lallinger and then from the board.
Well, thank you all very, very much. I hope you have a glimpse of what a week of no school was like in my house. But in all honesty, I will keep it brief and just say a couple words of gratitude primarily. And I'll start with gratitude for the staff here at City Schools. Because I think one of the things people don't see unless you do have the privilege of sitting in the chair of board commissioner is you don't see how hard people work behind the scene. And we are the ones up here asking questions and, reading briefings and getting information. But, but there are folks who are putting countless hours in behind the scenes. Thank you, Kai, to make things work. And so my first note of gratitude is just to the staff. You all do a fantastic job. It's really been a privilege to watch you all work. So thank you very much to staff, number one. Number two, it's to my board colleagues. This is a job that each and every one of you do on top of your full-time job and on top of being a parent and a husband or a wife or a partner. And it's not easy. It takes dedication and it takes commitment. And you all demonstrated that every single day that I served with you. So I appreciate the opportunity to do that with you. And then finally, we'll end things where we started it, which is gratitude to my wife, because every night that I was here or I was on a committee meeting, which if they were virtual, you probably saw one of these three running around in the background. She was with the kids holding it down. And it's not lost on me that not everybody has the ability to serve on a board like this because they don't always have a partner with the capacity, who she has a full-time job, by the way. And so I'm just very, very appreciative of my wife, Vanessa, for the opportunity to serve. So thank you all very much. We're going to end this before it gets made work. Thank you all. I really appreciate it.
I'm going to take just a point of privilege, just on behalf of the board to thank you so much for just your leadership, your unwavering commitment to the students and families of Baltimore, and just for enriching the entire board with just a wealth of knowledge, a sense of possibility and hope for Baltimore students, and encouraging us all to lean into this awesome opportunity to serve here in the city. So we're very appreciative of that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Any board colleagues, I know. Right, quick, anything before? Yes, yes, yes. Go ahead.
Just wanted to thank you for your steady leadership and principal service on the board. Even in difficult times, when we first kind of got together, you demonstrated that what it means to lead with integrity. And just know that your voice and presence has really strengthened this board and that it will continue on long after you're gone. Appreciate you.
I just know how you love all of this formality and attention. So, and I love to, but you deserve it. You deserve it. We've come a long way and I look forward to where we have to go. You're not done with me. You know this. I appreciate your thought partnership. I appreciate your leadership and the strength of your character. So we're neighbors, Vanessa, wherever you are, we're together. So I look forward to more thought partnership, but most importantly, more friendship.
Stefan, it's really been a pleasure getting to know you. You provided for, me coming onto the board, just like steadfast leadership. And so just really appreciate that. And thank you and wishing you the best in this next chapter.
First of all, girls, I've gotten to sit through several meetings with you at various places, like thumbs up for being real troopers. And I think like it is a contribution of for staff, but also for families and for the families of staff, the ways that this really is a community of service. So thank you guys for being good troops. And I know my girls have also appreciated hanging out with you. So thank you for being gracious. Stefan, I will echo what she has said as the three of us have gone through it. It's good that it's been a month to be thankful for your service at the state level and the work that you will do there. You are doing great things, but we would be lying if we said your presence isn't going to be missed. But I've appreciated your wisdom, your just steadfastness in how do you do the right thing, which seems simple, but is often not. And I just have really been grateful for that. And we'll preserve the right to be able to call when we're in a difficult space. So thank you.
Hi, Stefan. I was sworn in with you as you were getting reappointed. And from the beginning, you've been an amazing role model to me. I love your sense of leadership and presence, and it's really inspired me. And I just hope that whatever comes next is an amazing opportunity, and I'm really grateful for you.
So as a mom who was chuckling, knowing what it's like to have 3 under 4, and you're somewhere in that range, even a little higher. Let me tell you, the fact that you, your wife, your family gave to city schools what you did at a crucial time. And I will just say that your leadership may have been shorter than anybody wanted it to be, except your wife. But just know that in the annals of city schools, your leadership was at the right time, the right demonstration of courage, the right demonstration of knowledge. And I would say I'll get to see you all the time at state suit meetings. It was great getting to see you in your new capacity, but I'm going to be gone. So I won't be able to see you, but I will say, I said to Dr. Wright that she has a real gem in you, and we know you will make Baltimore City proud. And just thank you for your service, because it's not easy, but know that it was felt.
I'll also add a few notes. And for those that aren't aware, Stefan worked up in New York for up until just recently when he transitioned to MSDE, a much closer commute. But multiple times I had the opportunity of bumping into or I guess, yeah, just being on the same train at 5:30 in the morning going up to New York and having conversations with you. I also knew that that was the best time I could call you. Like I could catch you on the morning train, because 3 days, you were going up and back, and, just the dedication that does go in behind the scenes, and the thought leadership, the work that you put in, just cannot be understated or overstated. And so just appreciative of that and the way in which you showed up on the board throughout your whole time. So I want to say thank you.
Congratulations. Yeah, I just wanted to say that I've learned a lot from you, and I really appreciate your ability to look at data and connect it to policy. So, yeah, thank you for all your contributions on the policy committee, and I'm so excited to see what you do for the state.
I just want to thank you for the courage, as Dr. S. Put forward, the courage that you led with, and that courage looked different as your time may have looked short to others. It actually was very long because of the work that you did in that time. You are leaving us, but the impact of what you put forward in this board will remain. So again, thank you. And you're only a couple of doors away. No more train keeping you too far away from getting you. So just know that we'll be calling. Appreciate it.
And I just also wanted to say, sorry, I will prolong it just a little bit to say that you thank staff, but I think also you should know how when you started, we were in a pretty difficult time, and you were one of a team of people who helped lead us through some of the most challenging times that I've been chief of staff. And staff was very stressed at that time, very worried, and we got to a much, much better place. And you were part of a team who made that happen under really challenging circumstances. So I think we're very grateful that we got through that, and you were part of making that happen. So again, we wish you could have had you longer, but very profound impact on city schools. So thank you.
Stefan, we'll send you home with lots of goodies today on behalf of the board, and we know that you're not too far away from us. We're excited to see what you're going to do on behalf of the entire state, and just always keeping Baltimore City in all of the good work that continues forward. So we thank you again for your service. All right, thank you, Stefan. Stuff. You want to do a picture? Oh.
I think we're supposed to take a picture.
Oh, I think we are supposed to do a picture right quick. Okay, I'm sorry, LaShawn, I didn't know. And the kids should be in it. Okay. All right, I'm going to pass it. We've got one more item from the board. I'm going to pass it to Commissioner Simmons to go through just our retirement acknowledgement, our next set of employees who have meant a great deal to city schools.
So good evening. Good evening, everyone. So I'm going to read over a really full and exciting list of folks who dedicated their time to Baltimore City Schools, students, and families. I will ask if you hold your applause until I complete the list. It's not too long, but I know how we can get really excited, but just want to make sure everybody can hear everybody's name. You know how we do. So Marion Moore, 48 years. Barbara Small, 45 years. Erlise Hines Barksdale, 37 years. Tyra Land, 36 years. Judy Barnes, 33 years. Rodney Cofield, 31 years. Carol Gaskins, 29 years. Angela Robertson, 29 years. Mary Foster Allison, 28 years. Phyllis Youssef, 27 years. Karen Matthews, 23 years. Michelle Rayleigh Walia, 23 years. Juliette Molden, 20 years. James Johnson, 20 years. Kim Palmore, 18 years. Anthony Mbanja, 14 years. Sheila Drummer Cam, 6 years. And then our principals, Denise Ashley, 14 years. Douglas Fireside, 25 years. Can I ask y'all to hold on? No. I'm playing. Like we would be the ones to break the rules, right? Aaron Clark, 31 years. Nancy Fagan, 38 years. Roxanne Thorne Lumpkin, 40 years. Congratulations, everybody, and thank you for your service. Yeah. Congratulations. We're coming back up for pictures because I think this definitely deserves. We deserve a photo with these folks.
So one of the things I think is important that we take an opportunity just to hear from our retirees a little bit about their service. So we invite you to the mic if you'd like to share a little bit more. Up here, would you like to join us?
Taking pictures.
Actually, I was going to see if you wanted to offer comments. Did you want to offer? All right, before we do pictures.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Denise Ashley, and I was the principal at Highlandtown Elementary Middle School, number 237. That little darling commissioned Zaira Chicas Guzman was one of our babies. We are so, so very proud of you. And this is why we do this work. Proud of you, baby girl.
Thank you for your service. We appreciate it. Any additional comments? Did you want to provide any? Okay, we are going to do a quick picture with our folks who are here with us before we move through the rest of our agenda. So you guys want to come up, join us with the board for one quick picture. You guys ready? Picture that. All right, thank you so much. Thank you, Commissioner Simmons, for leading us through that. Our retirees are lifeblood of our system, so thank you. So we'll move through our agenda. So item 3.01, which is our approval, and 3.04, approval of the PEP and appeals hearings for quasi judicial matters. Is there a motion to approve the PEP and quasi judicial matters this evening?
So-
Thank you, Commissioner Simmons. Is there a second?
Second Esposito.
Thank you. All in favor, Vice Chair Parker,
Yes.
Commissioner Ames Messenger,
Yes.
Commissioner Coy,
Yes.
Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner Mohammed, Commissioner Scott Woodruff,
Yes.
Commissioner Simmons, Commissioner Slater Harrington, and I'm in favor. This motion passes. I'm so sorry. Did I leave somebody off?
Commissioner Chief, excuse me.
I'm so not on the.
Oh, yeah, no
not on the
PEP,
PEP.
yeah.
Yeah. Just
Okay.
the question was about our student commissioner who doesn't vote on our PEP items. So, so the motion passed, which I'm excited about. But now I get an opportunity to pass the mic over to Dr. Santelises for her comments this evening.
Thank you, Chair Sally, although my comments now seem like they're going to be too long. I should probably just say thank you, everybody, and move back on to you. But before we get started this evening, I want to invite Ayanna Patterson, who will present the PEP agenda tonight. Our Chief Human Capital Officer is at the Council of Great City Schools Human Capital Human Resources meeting. So thank you, Ayanna, for coming forth.
Oh, good evening, Dr. Santelises and Board Commissioners. Good evening, Dr. Santelises and Board Commissioners. I have the pleasure of reading our PEP agenda tonight. If you are here with us tonight, please stand so that we can properly recognize you. From the Office of the Chief Academic Officer, for appointment, it is recommended that Erin Harris, currently Discipline Disproportionality Specialist with Fairfax County Public Schools, be appointed Educational Specialist 2, School Improvement in the Office of Academic Priorities and Partnerships, effective February 7th, 2026. For appointment, it is also recommended that Kimberly Forbes, currently Teacher Special Education at Waverly Elementary, be appointed Coordinator of the Judy Center in the Office of Early Childhood, effective February 7th, 2026. Also recommended, in an acting capacity, recommended that Tina Ruiz, currently Coordinator of Multilingual Learners in the Office of ESOL, be appointed Acting Director of Multilingual Learners in the Office of ESOL, effective February 7th, 2026 through March 4th of 2026. This concludes our agenda, and congratulations to everyone on the agenda tonight.
Thank you very much, Ayanna, and congratulations to everyone who was on this evening's PEP agenda. I want to begin my comments this evening with a heartfelt thanks to our operations office, particularly our facilities crews, and even members of the schools office who just for their work around the clock over the past 10 days in clearing walkways, parking lots, driveways around our schools and offices, following last week's, as some like to say, winter event. But it was really just a deluge of ice and snow. And I want to thank everybody for their work. I want to give a shout out to Baltimore City, our mayor and his team, DPW for their equally hard work, clearing city streets, walkways, bus stops. JD Merrill, who is the mayor's chief of staff, was in constant contact with us. And I want to give also a big shout out. I was not in town for part of last week when the storm happened. So I want to give a big shout out, just as the chair did, to Chief of Staff Perkins Cohen for just yeoman's work in really helping to steer the efforts. And as a result of everyone's work, we were able to reopen schools for in-person learning yesterday, which is very important. And it is important because we know from the pandemic, the shortcomings of virtual learning for many of our young people. We also know that basically physical safety for a number of our young people in terms of their vulnerability and the kind of negative activity and frankly violence that they are exposed to when they are home and away from school. And our school leaders, our teachers, what everyone did to help prepare for our schools to receive students, and really to everyone throughout the district and central office, just for your hard work and your commitment. It is, of course, the snowstorm of this magnitude really is going to be very challenging for our families as well. And as a mom, a city schools mom, I know that people have questions about how and why we make decisions during a serious weather event like the one we just experienced. We will make sure that we have a series of questions and answers based on the wide variety of correspondence that we received. I want to thank everyone who had very specific recommendations, specific concerns, forwarded pictures that we could follow up on, but also the families who said thank you. Thank you because I did have to go to work. Thank you because my child actually doesn't do well a week off of school. And thank you for being there as our educational community to really try to balance a variety of real challenging needs. So we will post this Q&A. I don't want to read because I know the chair is sitting right here and he'll start looking at me if I go too long. I don't want to read every single one, but I do want to give you a flavor. I want to thank the Board of School Commissioners, many of whom reached out, we had conversations, and who also shared the questions that you were receiving from the community. And so that really is driving the question and answer that we will post for the public's information and reminder. So things, for example, one of the questions is, what has been done by district staff so far? And there's a list of things. You can read it completely. But we did do pre-treatment. I think it's important for people to know that leading up to the storm, we didn't just wait for it to happen. We had crews. We were working with the city to do pre-treatment. We also partnered, as I said before, with the city to identify priority areas for focus, again, based on what our staff was seeing on the ground. I think it's important for people to know that the prioritized work this week really is to continue cleanup. And the timetable that we should expect really is that we're going to move through this prioritized list of schools that either do not have parking lots or small parking lots. We have 26 schools with no parking lots at all, and another 25 to 30 with limited parking. So we'll continue to prioritize those schools for staff, as well as for families and young people. We provided the city with lists, and they focused on clearing the side streets around those schools to clear to the curb as much as they can to increase the available amount of parking. You should also know that today we provided, well, first, over the weekend, the city worked on clearing bus stops. So students will have space to stand because we knew that that was a danger point for them. And today we provided the city, thanks to the work of Deputy Chief Kelvin Moore and the school's office, ILEDs, who are here tonight, because working with that, we now have an updated list of priorities. We will be clearing for curbside drop-off for buses, bus stops near schools, and neighborhood streets. City school staff are focusing on loading docks to allow trash pickups, and we're also continuing to monitor facility issues such as heating and pipe ruptures. We've had a number of pipe ruptures at schools because of the extreme and extended cold. So we're going to also, it's not just kind of clearing up snow and ice, it's also making sure that our team can get to the spaces. We had a number of schools, even this morning, that had ruptures that frankly, had people not been being prepared to be in person, the water damage would have been even far more extensive than what it was. You'll also get a chance when we post this on the website to learn a little bit more about our new first time this year move to have satellite parking areas that was new, that was a way to provide another support. It was not mandated that people use those spaces, but that was new to provide what some schools found to be very helpful, and that was having satellite parking. You'll also see more about what goes into the decision about opening or closing. You'll also see in terms of virtual learning how that went. And I will tell you that our attendance on virtual learning days was pretty close to, I'm looking at Chief Jones, pretty close to what it was for in-person. Last week, we had the virtual days were 76% attendance, and February 2nd, in-person was in fact 75% for in-person. So we're looking at, again, what does the attendance look like? The plan for next week, for the rest of this week, is to be in person. So as it was yesterday, as it was today, and as it will continue, as of now, the Friday Professional Development Day is in fact still in place and will be occurring on Friday, barring anything else occurring between now and then. So again, I just want to thank folks, and I do just want to say again, that we are constantly reviewing what the conditions are, and it does require, it's a strain on everyone. You don't have a major snowfall of ice and snow of up to a foot and just have business as usual. So I really appreciate Team City Schools' flexibility, and we will continue to communicate with families, with staff as we proceed. Next, I want to highlight two reports released by MSDE on January 27th, both of which demonstrate continued growth by our schools and students. So first, while the state overall experienced a decline in the four-year high school graduation rate, City Schools demonstrated steady growth and marked its third consecutive four-year graduation rate increase, with a total gain of 3 percentage points since 2022. We also saw a five-year graduation rate increase, which was the one I was really focused on. That is close to 75%. We saw huge gains for our Black students, for our multilingual learners, for our low SES learners. We know we do have work to do with our multilingual learners because of what we know some of the impact of federal immigration action is doing, and the toll it is taking on our students, on our families. But I think one of the things we see here is that when we come together and actually organize around the core goals of the work, it is yielding tangible results for children. And then finally, or second, I should say, on January 27th, MSDE released results for the first year of the new Maryland Kindergarten Readiness Assessment. And I am happy to say that our strength as a district in pre-K continues and is demonstrated even as we shifted assessments. We know that City Schools pre-K students, as shown by the results, are better prepared for kindergarten literacy and math than students coming from prior care settings outside of City Schools. So we had pre-K students in multiple subgroups. Again, our Hispanic students, multilingual students, economically, what the state calls economically disadvantaged, their name, not mine, students. We saw in every category that our young people were ready. So Chief Teresa Jones will make a more in-depth presentation on KR results at our next public board meeting, but more information on both our graduation and our KRA results will be posted online on our website. And again, just want to give a big shout out to the team that is City Schools. You don't get increases in graduation rates through all that we've been through without a team effort and without renewed focus and partnerships between both central and schools. So shout out for those results, and I will turn it back over to you, Chair.
Great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And now We go on to the consent agenda. I'll now review the consent agenda for our board colleagues to let me know if there's an item you'd like removed and state your question for staff. I'm going to start with item 9.03, which is the operator waiver and enrollment cap request will be an information item presentation separate this evening. So I know it's listed on the consent agenda, but we will remove it from consent agenda this evening for a separate vote. 9.02 is the waiver request for policy FKA, procedures for the public use of board school facilities at Hampstead Hill Academy. 12.01 is the board certified behavioral analyst multiple vendors. 13.01 is catering services. 15.01 is elevator, large repairs, upgrades, installation, and modification services. 15.02, Corinna Construction Group, LLC. 15.03, Education Logistics Incorporated. 18.01, Cramen and Graham, PA. And 20.01, Apogee Incorporated.
Chair, when you referenced 9.02, you said it was for Hampstead. I think you just flipped that. It's for Baltimore Montessori.
Let me just double check with my board executive on that. Is that for Baltimore Montessori or Hampstead Hill?
I have it as Hampstead.
On board docs, it's 9.02 is the waiver request for the cap increase and 9.03 is Hampstead Hill.
Right. Because I'm just saying that you had said the waiver increase was for Hampstead Hill. The waiver increase is for Baltimore Montessori Public.
I'm just going to have our board executive verify because I have information in front of me that reads to the contrary.
So I just pulled it up as well, Board Chair. On Board Docs, 9.02 is the operator waiver enrollment cap, and 9.03 is the waiver request that are flipped in your script.
Okay, and I just want to make sure the school is correct, Hampstead Hill?
Correct.
Okay, so.
For which one? Hampstead Hill is for the 9.03.
Correct.
Okay, so I'm so sorry. So this is listed incorrect? Okay, so just a correction. So we're going to pull 9.02 for the operator waiver renewal cap. Is that what I'm doing? Okay. All right.
And Chair Sally.
Yes, ma'am.
The question on 13.01 and 20.01.
Okay, can you state your question for staff on 13.01?
For 13.01, I'm just want to clarify the contract term for vendors. There's a note that there's contracts dating back to 13 to 15. Is this the same renewal period? So is everyone listed entering in a 1 year for up to 4-year term? And then 20.1, just a outline of what the current uses are of Apogee within the district.
Okay, so I asked that staff make note of those two questions for those two particular items for 13.01 and 20.01, and we'll call you up after public comment. Now I'll turn over to the Vice Chair to lead us through.
Good evening again. We will now move to public comment. Public comment is shared by our district recognized groups and the general public. Representatives from our recognized groups will have the opportunity to share public comment first for 5 minutes each. Afterwards, the general public may share. First, we have Christina Duncan-Evan, representing the Baltimore Teachers Union. Yes.
Good evening, and thank you, Board of Commissioners, for the opportunity to speak. Too often, district leadership delegates operational decision-making to school-based leaders under the portfolio model philosophy that emphasizes districts as decentralized systems of schools rather than a single school system. In an emergency situation, this philosophy is dangerous and puts the health, safety, and academic progress of our students at risk. BCPSS has close to 10,000 employees. In any group of people that size, there will be people with limited mobility and pregnant people. And even healthy people can slip and fall and be injured and cost the district a workers' compensation claim. There was no plan for employees in general, but there should at least be a plan that addresses accessibility for vulnerable populations. If you're going to go open schools on time, a physical accessibility plan for vulnerable populations is kind of the bare minimum of planning that you need, and that wasn't part of the planning at all. Zooming out to the 10,000 employees as a whole, some staff got no plan, some were told to go to satellite parking and carpool. A surprising amount of school parking lots don't even have enough spaces on a normal day, which was made worse because some school parking lots have city dumped ice in them. And in the lots that have been cleared, residents have understandably parked in lots because the city hasn't cleared the streets. On Sunday, the district communicated that there were 100 spots in Camden Yards for thousands of staff in the southeast and southwest quadrants of the city. There was no real-time way to know when those spots were filled up and no options for people in the north half of the city. Again, 10,000 employees and 100 spaces. We're asking for, number one, Friday's PD day to be virtual and completed at a location of staff's choice. And number two, for 2-hour delays until sidewalks are clear. When it comes to the request for a 2-hour delay, here's the thing about a lack of planning. You can't have no plan and no time. And I say this as an educator who cares deeply about lesson planning, unit planning, individualized education plans, student learning. Planning is a big part of our job, and the quality of the plan determines, in part, the quality of the outcomes we get. Planning is super important to me and to our members at large. If you don't have a plan, you need more time, because if you have no plan, you have to take your time because you have to be flexible and thoughtful and cautious. Planning is literally what enables us to move faster in the moment. On the issue of student safety, students equally or more important because they are the reason for the 10,000 staff, students are falling in the street. Students are falling in the street. The falling piece is crazy because what do you mean you're going to put someone else's child's physical safety at risk? In the actual street where there are cars, including Nissan Altimas with Virginia tags. And I would ask people to think about how people are driving in the city these days. There's been a marked decrease in road safety since the pandemic. The least you can do is make sure that there's clear visibility in the morning, because when students are walking in the streets that early in the morning and cars can't see them, that is too big of a risk. That is why we need a 2-hour delay. It's still dark in the morning. Students are getting up even earlier to make it to school on time because they know buses are delayed. Not all students are leaving extra early, thank goodness, but some are, out of a sincere desire to do their best to meet the expectations set out for them. Based on the conversations I've had this week, it feels like we're partly here because Chief of Staff Allison Perkins Cohen has made a decision that unnecessarily jeopardizes student safety, and no one has the authority or will to stop her. On paper, the board and CEO have a responsibility for student operations and safety, but my understanding is that this decision has been delegated to the Chief of Staff. If I'm mistaken, please correct me, but it appears that the board and CEO accept and approve a wildly unsafe and chaotic start to the week when a 2-hour delay would maintain in-person learning while significantly mitigating most major safety issues because, again, there's no citywide plan. When you have no plan, you can't also have no time. A 2-hour delay is a reasonable ask, and it's how we went back to school for close to an entire week last time we had a snowstorm this big when Snowmageddon hit in 2010. Bullying principals continue to impact staff morale and attention. We are requesting times from Human Capital for Secretary's Office Assistants and the SRP's Career Pathways Work Group. Special educator workload needs to be addressed, and I have suggestions. Low bid contracts to renovate school buildings are leading to huge maintenance costs and facilities issues in new and recently renovated buildings. Our understanding is that this practice is not City Schools policy, but is determined by the Interagency Commission on School Constructive. Legislative session provides an opportunity for the board and BTU to work together and seek solutions that make our buildings work better for the students. And a few hours ago, I learned of a situation in which multiple secondary students encountered a humiliating and dehumanizing experience during the school day. I emailed everyone here about that situation, and my request is that my 3 questions be answered before the next board meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we will have Tangi Smith, Vice Chair of the Special Education Citizens Advisory Committee, CCAT.
Good evening, everyone. Can everyone hear me? Yeah. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Again, my name is Tangi Smith, and I come to you on behalf of the CCAT committee. For those of you who don't know what may not be aware of what CCAT means, it is the Special Education Advisory Committee, and we meet on the second Monday of every month to discuss various resources that we have throughout the district. Last month, we had talked with, we had learned more about what the Office of Engagement offers and the resources that they have. In that session, we also learned how they support different families to make sure that each child in our district is meeting their needs are being met. And we also learned about the different functions that they have under this office. We also learned about how the PTA helps the partnership that we have with the PTA, but how it works with the schools, the teachers, students, and the principals to make sure that things are being done correctly and efficiently for our families. And then I am glad to say and proud to say that CCAC has also recently started a PTA chapter of their own, a special ed PTA chapter, I might add, called Blooming Beyond Barriers. And at our upcoming February meeting, we have presentations on the health coverage assistance program and Baltimore City's health services. So what I would like to do is to invite you all there. Our next meeting is on February 9th from 6 to 8 p.m. and upstairs in room 301, and we would love to have you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll turn it over to our board executive, Yusuf Ahmad, for more public comment.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. We have 3 individuals who signed up for this evening, 1 in person, 1 written, and 1 video. We'll start with the in-person, Burke Smith.
Good evening, Commissioners. Thank you for letting me have the floor this evening for a few minutes. I am the board chair of the 5 Smooth Stones Foundation. We are the operator for the Baltimore Collegiate School for Boys. And you all received an email with this letter attached to it last night. And I'm really going to read it as quickly as possible here and then be available should there be any questions. I'm here to request that you revisit the decision to vote to close our school that happened 2 weeks ago because of a significant change in our financial circumstances. On January 27th, there we go, issued an opinion that Baltimore City Public Schools must recalculate charter school funding in accordance with state law and established precedent. According to estimates presented to the city by its charter schools, its decision could result in Baltimore Collegiate receiving as much as $900,000 before the end of the fiscal year. This would allow BCSB to pay off the remaining $250,000 in accounts payable and significantly increase our net assets. Further, this decision should result or could result in an additional $3,000 per student in future fiscal years. This, combined with the significant rent reductions that were shared with the board, dramatically changes BCSB's current and future viability. Assuming the city complies with the state mandate, Baltimore Collegiate will end the year with well over 60 days of cash on hand. Beyond financial viability, I want to remind the board that Baltimore Collegiate has successfully met all 8 conditions placed upon us during our last renewal in 2023. School effectiveness review showed that we went from having 8 of 12 of our performance levels being rated developing in 2022 to 9 of 12 being rated effective in 2025. Our 5 essential scores improved dramatically between 2022 and 2025 as well. And critically, when our academic outcomes are compared to the appropriate benchmark, economically disadvantaged African-American males in 6th through 8th grades across Baltimore City, our school performs at levels comparable to most other district middle schools. Even more importantly, though it's difficult to assign causality to high school graduation outcomes, it is our belief that the habits and character necessary to graduate high school are inculcated in the students' middle school years. Indeed, our high school graduation rates are far superior to other city schools. The board voted to close our school because it did not want to set a precedent of approving a school with a not effective in student achievement and a not effective in finance and governance. As noted, we dispute the former and the latter is no longer applicable. Baltimore City serves a unique and vital mission in the Baltimore Collegiate rather serves a unique and vital mission in the city. We're the only school dedicated exclusively to educating African American boys in grades 4 through 8. Our young men, 100% economically disadvantaged, deserve schools designed specifically to address their needs and unlock their potential. With our renewed financial stability, our track record of meeting renewal conditions, and our demonstrated academic progress with our target population.
Time.
And I would thank you so much for the comment for coming tonight. So one of the things I will just want to address for the record, because of the appellate rights that are afforded to Baltimore Collegiate, that process must be followed. So we appreciate the letter that you sent to the city schools. The appellate process is very much spelled out. These issues that you highlight can be encapsulated in the appeal that you may submit to the district for further consideration. So just want to make sure that this is not the avenue for us to litigate that or relitigate the decision that was made by Baltimore City or the board, I'm sorry. And then also recognizing like how the very specific process must be considered for the board to, the district and the state to look at that particular appeal. So we appreciate the opportunity to review that if Baltimore Collegiate and Five Stones wishes to go through the appellate process.
Excellent. Thank you. We'll do that.
Thank you so much.
Next, we have written commentary provided by Carolyn Bowman, a middle school math teacher. Does not say here what school. She's a teacher nope, just middle school math teacher. I'm writing to express concern regarding inefficiencies in the educator license renewal process and the negative impact these delays create. The current 6-month grace period for processing license renewals is excessively long and has resulted in avoidable consequences for educators. Educators are responsible for extensive workloads, including grading and reviewing assignments each quarter, often averaging approximately 2,000 grades, along with required documentation, communication, and other administrative responsibilities. Given these expectations, it is reasonable to expect that the certification office would be able to process license renewals in a more timely manner. In my own experience, my renewal took more than 6 months to be completed despite all required documentation being submitted on time. Delays in license and errors in processing have tangible professional consequences, such as achieving tenure and sick leave accrual as well. When certifications are not updated promptly, educators may experience postponed salary increases, delayed career advancement opportunities, and disruptions to employment eligibility. These outcomes are particularly concerning when the delays are outside of the educator's control. Additionally, prolonged processing times can result in a loss of professional representation at the state level. For example, during the recent election for the MSCE teacher member seat, 4 candidates from Baltimore City were on the ballot. However, none were elected. I strongly believe that issues related to the voting process played a role in this outcome. I did not receive a ballot because my certification was not listed as current, despite having submitted all renewal materials within the required timeframe. While I was ultimately able to obtain a ballot after contacting MSDE directly, this additional step would not have been necessary had my certification been processed in a timely manner. These issues highlight the need for improvements in the license renewal process to ensure efficiency, fairness, and full professional participation for educators. Timely processing is essential not only for individual career progression, but also for maintaining accurate representation. Lastly, we have a video submitted by Jocelyn Providence.
Good evening. My name is Jocelyn Providence, and I'm a math teacher in Baltimore City Public Schools and a proud parent of a pre-K student in Baltimore City Public Schools. The topics that I will be speaking about this evening are current travel conditions, as well as PD this Friday. So BCPSS facilities staff and city's DPW put in a lot of great effort to try to get schools up and ready to go. And I think the school buildings for the most part were great. However, I still think that was very inappropriate and disrespectful to students and staff and families to expect all of us to be at school on time Monday morning. I think that there was a very strong agreement that schools should be open, but the expectation that schools should be open and start on time did not even align with the statement that was sent out to families 2 days ago. It stated, quote, Due to snow and icy road conditions, particularly on smaller side streets, yellow bus services may be delayed, unquote. And then it goes on to say, quote, safety of our students and drivers is our top priority. MTA bus transportation may experience delays as well. We already know delays already happen. So delays even on top of that. So if safety of students and drivers are your top priority, why wouldn't you give us a 2-hour delay like surrounding counties to give people more time to be safe and get to school? It took me 1 hour and 30 minutes yesterday to drive from dropping off my son at Garrett Heights Elementary Middle School to the parking lot I need to park at 5 blocks away from Baltimore School for the Arts. Hartford Road, which already experiences delays because of construction, was down to 1 lane most of the way. And like you thought would happen in your post, I got stuck behind a yellow bus that tried to go down a smaller side street. Luckily, my principal was able to find coverage for me since I missed my entire first period and half of my second period class traveling my normal 5.3-mile route through the city that usually takes me 20 to 30 minutes. I want to take the words from a fellow teacher, Mark Miazga, that he beautifully wrote, quote, a 2-hour delay would reflect sound judgment, regional consistency, and a clear commitment to student safety in the wake of icy conditions and expected transit delays. Why do we continually ask Baltimore City kids to be so much tougher than other kids, unquote. Finally, related to the weather conditions that we continue to be experiencing, have there been conversations about PD this Friday? Like I stated in my intro, I'm a math teacher, and that means that I've had PDs at Achievement Academy, ACE, and Holabird. Parking has always been an issue at these sites, and it continues to be an issue. So when I park in the neighborhood, in community spots, it's going to be even a bigger issue this time. And honestly, very disrespectful to the community when we have staff members coming in, taking their spots that they might have spent time shoveling out. I would like to formally request for PD sites where there's going to be more than 50 people to attend to switch to partial or fully virtual PD. We know that this is an accommodation that is provided for the virtual school. This seems like the exact scenario, safety, for pivoting to a virtual PD for Friday. It is only Tuesday, so I still feel like there is enough time to adjust PD so that it can be conducted effectively virtually. Please take seriously the concerns that we have for our safety and allow us to support our students' learning and development in a safe way. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity for public comment. So I just want to remind the public, I want to remind our recognized groups that we do have standards in place for how we engage in public comment. We don't allow from the general public and we don't allow from our recognized groups attacks on personnel here in the district. We do appreciate the opportunity for comment, but ask that those going forward be refrained from public comment that is shared from our recognized groups. Now return to the consent agenda for items that were pulled. Are there any additional items that folks would like pulled based upon public comment this evening? Okay, hearing none, let's work through the items here that were requested. So I turn to the Chief Financial Officer for item 13.01 for catering services to clarify contractual terms.
Hello. The question was about are all of the listed vendors under the same, the same term. And yes, they're all under a 4-year term with 1-year renewal options.
And that is the case even if they've had contracts dating back since 13, 15.
Yes.
One other comment to make. I think listening to your question a few minutes ago, I think the sentence where it refers to Chris Doherty, Chief Financial Officer, dating back to 2013, 2015, and 2018, that was meant just to provide additional context, unintentionally confusing, I think, because these 8 vendors won the competition. All 7 of them are well and previously known to the district from having done the same services. The only new one happens to be City Chef Consulting. And the line was meant to say, in addition to winning the competition, many of them have contracts going back to 13, 15, and 18. Just a additional bit of context that unfortunately was a bit confusing. Of course.
Item 20.01, which belongs to the Chief Communication and Engagement Office. Can you restate the inquiry?
Yes, can you just share with Apogee? I see that there's websites in there as well as like the phone call services, but I see that listed in two separate spaces, so I wasn't sure what's the full breadth of what they do for us.
Hi, I'm Andre Riley, the Executive Director of Communications. And Apogee covers the breadth of all those systems. Our district website, our traditional school websites, as well as our automated call system, robocall, email, text, and our mobile app.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I think those were the questions. We'll now return to the items that were pulled for separate vote. So 15.01, elevator, large repairs, upgrades, installation and modification services. Sorry, I haven't done this in a minute for particular items. I'll now read a roll call for this. Is there a motion to approve this item?
So move.
Thank you. I'll take first from Vice Chair Parker and second was Slater Harrington. Thank you so much. All in favor, Vice Chair Parker?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Ames Messenger?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Chicas Guzman?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Coy?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Esposito?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Mohammed?
Abstain.
Thank you. Commissioner Scott Woodruff?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Simmons? He's absent. Commissioner Simmons, Slater Harrington, excuse me. Thank you, and I'm in favor. This motion passes. Our next item is item 15.02, Corinne Construction Group LLC. Is there a motion?
Motion, Chicas Guzman.
Thank you, Commissioner Chicas Guzman. Is there a second? Thank you, Commissioner Slater Harrington. All in favor, Vice Chair Parker?
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner Ames Messenger.
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Chicas Guzman.
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner Coy.
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner Esposito.
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner Mohammed.
Abstain.
Thank you, Commissioner Scott Woodruff.
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner Slater Harrington. Thank you, and I'm in favor. This motion passes. I want to double check. Did I get this right? Okay, so 9. Okay, so our remaining consent agenda contains the following items this evening. So it'll be 9.03, the waiver request for policy FKA, procedures for the public use of board facilities for Hampstead Hill. 12.01, the board certified behavioral analyst, multiple vendors. 13.01, the catering services. 15.03, Education Logistics Incorporated, 18.01, Craman and Graham, PA, and 20.01, Apogee Incorporated. Is there a motion to approve the remaining consent agenda?
Ames Messenger, so moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Ames Messenger. Is there a second? Thank you, Commissioner Simmons. All in favor, Vice Chair Parker?
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner Ames Messenger.
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner Chicas Guzman.
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner Coy.
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner Esposito.
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner Mohammed.
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner Scott Woodruff.
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner Simmons. Thank you, Commissioner Slater Harrington. Thank you, and I'm in favor. This motion passes. I will now go to, I'll now pass it, invite Angela Alvarez and the team from the Office of New Initiatives for a presentation of the operator waiver cap that was pulled out of the consent agenda for a separate vote. Welcome, Kendra, as well. Are you flying solo tonight? Is it just Kendra tonight? All right. All right.
Okay, good evening, Dr. Santelises, Board Commissioners, and Chief Perkins Cohen. This evening, I will be presenting the operator waiver request and the CAP request. And this falls under board priority number 5, where city schools provides equal access to district services, resources, and facilities to ensure the success of students, staff, and the surrounding community. Our waiver request process covers the waivers of the district policies, major changes to academic or other school programming, and changes to enrollment capacity. This opportunity is offered during 2 windows, which fall in the fall and the spring, and this request can also be made during the renewal application process. And when it is done so, it's considered separately from the application itself, and it's voted on after the renewal vote is decided. The key considerations that we review are the rationale for how change meets the school need, evidence of demand, the stakeholder engagement that is implemented, and quality of school programming, and the capacity to implement, which includes staffing, facility, and financial standing. The waiver timeline started in November on the 3rd, where the school submitted the request. It is then vetted by Office of New Initiatives and other key offices during the months of November and January. Our Charter and Operator-led Schools Advisory Board considers the request and provides advice to the CEO, and this was done in December. And the request is presented to the Board Strategic Planning Committee for information, and this was done in December on the 18th. And today, February 3rd, we are presenting the CEO's recommendation to the board for a vote. So the one school that we have who has submitted a waiver request is Baltimore Montessori Public Charter School. They have a 3-year contract term for the term of 2025 to 2028, and their configuration consists of pre-K and 8th grade. The school's rationale includes that Baltimore Montessori seeks a waiver to reduce the enrollment cap from 518 students to 500, and this cap does not include pre-K enrollment. The operator states that this number allows them to reduce average class size slightly in response to stakeholder feedback that they have received, and it's their intention to right-size enrollment to maintain the integrity and appropriate class sizes, sustain high-quality instruction that aligns with the Montessori approach, and strengthen support and structures that promote success. Once again, this does not include the pre-K enrollment numbers. So in 2024 and 25, the cap was 518. Their official enrollment was 506, and the funded amount for fiscal year 26 was 496. The proposed cap is for 518 students, and their requested change is to 500 students with a difference of 18 students. The key considerations that we reviewed under the rationale for the needs is that this is a modest change in size, and the school is fiscally sustainable, and their individual class sizes are important to the Montessori model. Evidence of demand, they usually have a high demand and often has 500 or more applications. Stakeholder engagement provided the feedback that drives this request, and the advisory board recommends approval. Quality of school programming, Baltimore Montessori was approved for a 3-year contract renewal on January 14th, and the renewal review of the school's operator generated a rating of developing in academics. And their capacity demonstrates that they currently are funded at 496 students for fiscal year 26, and the school remains financially viable. And they currently maintain 143 days of cash on hand, indicating strong financial stability. So with all of these considerations, the staff recommendation is to approve the enrollment cap reduction from 518 students to 500 students in grades kindergarten through 8th grade. And that is it.
Are there any questions from board colleagues before we open up for vote this evening? Is there a motion to approve the operator waiver cap this evening? Thank you, Commissioner Slater-Harrington. Is there a second?
Second, Mohammed.
Thank you, Commissioner Mohammed. All in favor, Vice Chair Parker?
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner Ames Messenger?
Aye.
Commissioner Chicas Guzman?
Yes.
Commissioner Coy?
Yes.
Commissioner Esposito?
Yes.
Commissioner Mohammed?
Yes.
Commissioner Scott Woodruff?
Yes.
Commissioner Simmons? Commissioner Slater Harrington? And I'm in favor. This motion passes. Thank you so much, Ms. Kendra. We appreciate the presentation.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. You too. I'll now invite our team up from Chief Operating Officer, so Dr. Lynette Washington, and the Executive Director of Capital Projects and the 21st Century Building Project for a presentation on the 21st Century Schools Annual Update.
Oops. Good evening, everybody. Thank you. So I'm Cindy Smith. I'm the Executive Director for Capital Projects with the Operations Office. And I would like to present this evening the 21st Century Schools Annual Report Update for 2025. So we are required to provide an annual report, which is approved by the board and then by MSA as part of the obligations of the MOU that was established for the 21st Century Buildings Program. Note that this will only include the schools in the 21st Century Buildings Program. While all schools that we are building are 21st Century schools, not all of them are in the 21st Century Program. We are building many schools that are not part of the program, and we will briefly mention them in here, but they are not in the written document. Just note that this report is typically due the end of January, and we start getting asked about it by the state from the middle of February if we haven't submitted it yet, hence the reason why it is on the agenda this evening. So we will talk briefly about strategic priorities, the executive summary, do some project updates, talk about swing space, where we are with enrollment projections and surplus buildings, some community engagement status, project communications, and end with the financial report and the maintenance plan. So this does align with both priorities 3 and 4 for the school board regarding high quality modernized facilities, as well as effectively engaging all stakeholders and parents, families, and community members. Just as a summary of where we are with the program at this point, we have completed 27 out of 29 school buildings. The OSIP, which is the insurance program, plan was extended to cover the remaining projects, specifically in this case, Frederick Douglass, which was an addition to the plan at the end. So far, we have achieved 1,619 local hiring positions for Baltimore City residents. We have over 355 procurement and task orders issued to date, with that being $1.36 billion issued in contract awards. Of that, about $458 million has been for MBE contracts, equating to about a 34% participation rate. And we have all participated in about 91 statewide outreach events, 20 of which were specifically organized by MSA. Just a note, we wanted to highlight this is the rendering of the Commodore John Rogers building that will be opening here we're receiving students in about a year from now. So we're really excited about that. And that was the last one in the list. So just a brief outline of where we are in the plan. This is the list of the Plan Year 1 schools. All of them have opened at this point, have been operating for quite a while. So we're really proud of those, as well as the Plan Year 2 schools. We are down to just one remaining Plan Year 2 school, which would be the Commodore John Rogers building that I just showed the rendering of. It is proposed to be open for students in January of 2027, so just about a year from now, and will be the last one in the program. And then Plan Year 3, we do have that one additional Plan Year 3, which is the Frederick Douglass High School Briscoe Academy co-location, which is also under construction and will be opening this summer. So we will have students moving in there when we return to school in August. And this is actually a rendering of one of the entrances. This is specifically the Frederick Douglass entrance of the Frederick Douglass Briscoe co-location building.
So just so where we are with where all of the schools have been built across the city, as you've seen in the CEFMP presentations that we give annually, we rate different investment areas across the city using the Community Condition Index, and this places all of the buildings across the city within their CCI areas. So as you'll see, a lot of them have been built in low investment areas, a lot more in the low investment areas than in the higher investment areas. This is what I mentioned in the beginning, where I mentioned that we would talk briefly about the non-21st century school buildings, because we have a lot of other projects that are going on that are not 21st century school program buildings. The green ones are highlighted because those are our green schools, our net zero schools. So just to kind of bring those to the forefront also. But this kind of shows you where we are with the status of all of those different projects. Just to note, the most recent ones, Furley did open this year for students, and so has students in it now in the new building. Marie G. Faring's annex did open also this summer. It has new students in the annex, and the prefab building will actually have students in it next week. So we're excited about that. And then Armistead Gardens is a phase occupied. So students will be coming into the new building actually as a phase progress. So that one will be a little more complicated, but is happening right now also. And of course, we are in design for Poly Western, as well as in construction for City College at this point. So we are, those are at the bottom of the list, but those are, priority ones as well. Commodore John Rogers again. Okay, for swing space, we have 2 schools still in swing. Frederick Douglass High School is in swing at the Northwestern building, which is on Park Heights Avenue. And again, that's until this summer. Commodore John Rogers is also still in swing at the Southeast building on Fate Avenue for about 11 more months. We did provide transportation services in 2025 for Commodore John Rogers students, but for the elementary school students only, just to make sure everybody's aware of that. There are other schools in swing. These are the only 21st century schools that are in swing, however. So just to make sure everybody's aware of that. In regards to enrollment projections was a big part and a major part of the 21st Century Schools Building Program and part of the MOU to decrease the footprint of the district. Based on the MOU, City Schools did commit to a district-wide utilization rate of 86% for school year 2019-2020. We did exceed that goal with a utilization of 87%, so that was great for us. Right now, we are projecting an utilization rate for school year 25-26 of 86%, so still right on that target. We did not surplus any additional buildings in 2025. Exhibit 6, which is the exhibit as part of the MOU that lists how many buildings we had to surplus as part of that MOU and as part of that decreasing footprint, does require us to have 26 buildings on it. We have surplus 23 to date. The remaining schools on Exhibit 6 still to be surplused are Briscoe, which should surplus as soon as we move them into the co-location with Frederick Douglass. Northwestern building, which is currently swing for the high school plan until 2030. And then the Thurgood Marshall building, which is swing for Vanguard until the projected 2027 and the completion of the Northeast building. In regards to community relations, we have actually, this has been a big component of the 21st Century Buildings Program. And so, of course, throughout 2025, we can continue to engage with stakeholders. We didn't open anything new under the 21st Century Buildings Program in 2025, but we did continue to support schools that had opened. A lot of times, schools' entrances have changed, schools' drop-offs have changed, how student pickup and drop-off works has changed in the new buildings and the new renovated buildings, as well as traffic calming situations and things like that. So our team has continued to work with schools that have previously opened, such as Montebello and Cross Country, as well as the 2 that are in swing, to make sure that those situations are all resolved and continuing to work out fine for those schools. We have been running community meetings for Commodore John Rogers as well as Frederick Douglass as they are in construction. So we have, students and families and school leaderships and alumni and foundations. Everybody is coming out to those meetings. We have a lot of engagement in these projects. We did publish 2 editions of the program newsletter this year, which did achieve an open rate of about 47%, which has been an increase actually over previous years. We specifically feature those projects from the 21st Century Program, as well as activities and staff highlights and students that go to those schools as part of that, that newsletter. In addition, the communications team continues to document and archive the work that we've been performing through the 21st Century Program. And we did receive the 2025 Award of Excellence in Sustainable Design from the Maryland Historic Trust for the Montebello School Project. So we were excited about that. And of course, we continue to hit a lot of footprint through all of our social media, with a lot of views and a lot of openings of our X, I have a hard time saying X and not Twitter still, but X posts, as well as Facebook and Instagram. Okay, wrapping up for the financials. The financials with our revenues were higher, and so I just want to preface this by saying MSA is in charge of all the financials for the 21st Century Program. So this is data that they track and that they provide as part of the annual report. But revenues were higher by $8.6 million in the budget, but expenses were higher by about $14.3 million over budget. Primarily that was because of the contractual services, as well as then some salary and wage costs. To note, the revenues were higher because of an investment income of $8 million, which did exceed the budgeted amounts, as well as some BG rebates in there. Deposits made by the City of Baltimore were less than the budgets on the use of funds from reserve for prior period overpayments. The expenses were over budget because of the contracts for Commodore John Rogers and Frederick Douglass, which happened to be awarded within that time frame. So when you hit those particular years that those contracts are awarded, that's when you hit those expenses. So, and they were greater than anticipated during the particular fiscal year that we were talking about. In addition, MSA did continue to manage those projects, so there was salaries, and this has extended longer. The program was anticipated to be completed prior to now. So this is an extension of that duration. So there are some additional salary costs for that. Of note, any savings that are accumulated throughout the program, they pay for project change orders, future cost increases, which we are seeing across the board in all construction across these days, as well as any other projects related to 21st Century Building Program projects, such as like the Reach Field that they're doing. There is an MSA component to the Reach Field. Savings are budget savings, and we want to flag that because they may or may not be real savings when the actual prices for the projects come in. They are based on that feasibility study, was the original cost estimate placed on the projects, and then when the actual costs come in, the GMPs are awarded, is when the actual price, then there may or may not be a savings or an increase over that feasibility study cost from when it was originally projected. In addition, there are often change orders at the end of the project, so we really don't know the actual full cost of the project until all of the change orders are paid out and resolved and everything is closed out and completed at the end. I do have noticed that if at the end of the program, if there is any additional savings per MSA, it will go into the Built to Learn projects. So that would be the City College, Poly, and Western projects. If there is any money left over, that's where that money would go to. And the last slide regards the comprehensive maintenance plan, which we just recently had some presentations on in the fall regarding the CMP. This was the final component of the MOU because this is part of what provides that continuous plan for maintaining the buildings to continue to maintain and keep those buildings up. We do submit this annually. And we continue to work with MSA to make sure we have all of the submissions and all of the operations and maintenance manuals and the building maintenance plans to go into our CMMS system to make sure that we can maintain the buildings the way that they're supposed to be maintained per the materials and equipment that were constructed. And that completes my presentation. Any questions?
Open up to board colleagues. Go with Commissioner Coy first.
Thank you for the presentation. As you're talking about some of the, revenues being higher, but also expenditures being higher, that difference, $5 million difference, what percent of the total amount that was spent would that be? I mean, like, as I'm looking at, is that, if we were to look at the percent of difference, is the denominator the
$1.36 billion, yes.
I mean, so
can't do that number in my head.
But some quick math on that. I mean, that as a percentage of difference is like less than 1% of difference. And as I'm sitting there and listening to you speak about that, I am just floored at how tightly managed, and dare I say, just well managed. All of that is, if the difference that you're talking about is less than 1%, when I know we could all easily pull up examples in which budgets for large projects are double what they were projected, in a heartbeat, and even sometimes before they even start building on any of the project. So just like putting it in the context of how tightly managed all of that has been over this just enormous number of school building projects over a long period of time, like just hat tip, for this past decade plus of really substantial work.
Thank you.
Any additional board colleagues? Hearing none. Thank you so much.
Can I, board,
Oh, I'm so sorry.
sorry, I just want to take a moment to thank Cindy for, this is an incredibly complicated project. It's been a long, long project. It is, Cindy has to manage multiple different agencies to manage this that all have different timelines and responsibilities and expectations. She has to manage different funding streams. She has to manage different parties who all have a say in how we do this project. And it is incredibly, incredibly complicated. And she works incredibly hard at doing all that, plus bringing her expertise as an engineer to the project. So we are all the better for having Cindy on these projects, and she has really given her heart and soul to deliver really great buildings for our school students. So appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
We're looking forward to our last two 21st century buildings opening, so it's exciting.
I am too.
Yes. Thank you, Cindy. We appreciate it. All right, I think that takes us to the end of our agenda this evening, I believe, if I got everything correct. Yep. Just a couple of notices of upcoming meetings for the public. So teaching and learning will be happening on Tuesday, February 10th at 3:30 p.m. Safety and wholeness, I believe, is this correct? It's the 12th from 4 to 5:30. Our next public board meeting will be on Wednesday, the 18th, recognizing a shift from the holiday that's occurring on Monday. Operations will be held on Tuesday, February 24th at 10:30 in the morning. Policy the same day at 4 p.m. And then our following board meeting into March, we'll be back to our regular schedule of the first and the third Tuesday of the month. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
Second, Chicas Guzman.
I will take it from the vice chair. All in favor, signal by saying aye. Thank you so much. We're adjourned.